Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and general Chelsea news update as we build up to the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. There's a little bit to get into, as always, with Chelsea people. So let's loads to cover. Sam Jewell has accepted Chelsea's job role. He'll start in November. It's another recruit from Brighton. We're going to dive into all the news surrounding that. Obviously, got the latest on PSG's potential interest in Levi Colwill. Seems like a bit of a waste of time to me, but we'll cover that, go through that. The modest bonus pot of just £500,000 will be on offer to be split between the Chelsea squad if they win the Carabao Cup on Sunday. And we've also got news about Chelsea's forgotten man, Malang Sarr, and how his move to Le Havre broke down, what's happening to him, what he's doing at Cobham, what he isn't doing. Loads to dive into there as well. And then just a general chat about the cup final building up to it. Obviously, season-defining week for Chelsea with the FA Cup game against Leeds next week as well. So, yeah, loads and loads to cover, guys. Loads to get into. So big up to everyone that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Subscribe if you are new around here. It'd be greatly appreciated. Just 34 subscribers away now from the big 8K mark. We need to get there before the cup final, people. Have to get there before the cup final. So if you're locked in now and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, we need to run these likes up, guys. Get it to 50 likes as quickly as possible. We should be aiming for 100 likes minimum as always, guys. So make sure that we are doing that because that would be most helpful to me at this point in time. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat and then we will get going. Why are Chelsea so obsessed with Brighton? Can't just leave them alone. I'm going to dive into that. PSG will go crazy in the summer now to replace Mbappe. Yeah, they're going to make some big recruitment. They're going to make some big signings in the summer, that's for sure. Big up to Brian, who's become a YouTube member. Big up, brother. Appreciate that a lot. Guys, if like Brian, you want to do the right thing and become a channel member, support myself for just $1.99 per month, then hit the link in the description and become a member. The more members we get, there will be member-only shows and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, if you want to support me, if you enjoy the work that I'm doing, then make sure you become a channel member. It would be greatly appreciated. But big up to Brian for doing that. Chelsea need to get revenge on Liverpool, ruin the Klopp leaving party, absolutely. Michael, hope you're doing well. It's sad news, isn't it? I actually disagree, and I'm going to explain why. We're going to dive into this. This is an interesting topic, so we are going to get into that. I wouldn't say it was mid-table, but I think we'll be all right. Colwill not for sale. We're going to dive into that because we think they're good at their job clearly, and yeah, I'm going to dive into that. Just quickly get through a few more things. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. Silva needs to stay. We must do everything to convince him to stay for another season. I think that's done. But Gallagher will stay. I wouldn't be keeping Sterling though. If there's an offer for Sterling, then I'd be cashing in on him. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. Colwill, no, Colwill won't be for sale. He's literally just signed a new 6-year contract. No, I can't see him going anywhere. If I'm being totally honest, not right now anyway. Yes, Carlton, hope you're doing well. Do you think we can beat Liverpool on Sunday? Yeah, we absolutely can. But make no mistake about it, we are obviously the underdogs going into it. The playing field is slightly leveled in terms of the injuries and the personnel that they're missing. And our form has obviously improved since we got hammered at Anfield. So I think, it's going to be a lot closer than people might have expected a few weeks ago. We can absolutely compete and we can beat them, but we'll have to have another performance like we did against Manchester City for me if we're going to have any chance of competing in this one. Yes, big up, bro. Hope you're doing well. Well, you'd like to think so, but let's be real. It may well not be. It may well not be. We could be linked with the likes of Evan Ferguson, potentially somewhere down the line. So, yeah, it's not going to be, I'm not sure if it'll be the end, but hopefully, it's the sort of the end for at least the now. But I mean, let's start with that story then. Obviously, we had the news maybe a week or two ago that Chelsea were considering Sam Jewell. Obviously, Brighton wanted him as well. And funny enough, Sam Jewell actually found out today, son of former Wigan Athletic manager Paul Jewell. For anyone that's interested in a bit of kind of useless knowledge. But Yeah, David Ornstein confirming today, because obviously he had a job offer on the table, I think, from United. Could have stayed at Brighton and had the Chelsea offer as well. But confirmed by David Ornstein, Brighton head of recruitment Sam Jewell has accepted an offer from Chelsea in the senior multi-club role. 34-year-old is now placed on gardening leave and he's not expected to start until November. And obviously at Chelsea, he will report to Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley. His role is expected to be... let's find it. Let me just bring this up now. So Jewell is obviously expected to take over a senior role within the leadership, within the multi-club model. So yeah, it's obviously a bigger role for him, you would imagine, than he had at Brighton. But let's have a quick look. He's accepted a new position. Jewell will join in a senior role with Chelsea's multi-club model. So let's see what happens there. Part of the multi-club project to bring in and select new players. I think it could be a good hire, to be perfectly honest. He's going to focus on scouting, negotiating, and obviously the multi-club model as well. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he will. It's still believed that the Premier League will be his next destination. Not saying it will be Chelsea, but it's still believed that the Premier League will be his next destination. Well, maybe we are going to get into that in a bit more detail. But look, I actually don't necessarily think this is a particularly bad, appointment. In all honesty, because look, the guy's obviously good at his job. He knows what he's doing. He's got a good reputation, and whether you like it or not, Sam Jewell is an excellent hire for Chelsea. Not so long ago, De Zerbi said that Jewell knows every single player in world football, and he's 34 years old. And again, look, these are the players, guys. A list of players that Sam Jewell has scouted for Brighton: Caicedo, Alexis McAllister, Gyökeres. Right now, players at Brighton: Facundo Buonanotte, Enciso, Ferguson, Mitoma, Estupiñán, Adingra. And he was also instrumental in convincing Levi Colwill, for convincing Brighton to go for Levi Colwill. So this is kind of the caliber of player that this guy has signed, has scouted in the past. So let's not dismiss him just because he's come from Brighton. I don't think that should be. I don't think that should be the case. That is an exceptional list of players. But that's not his job. His job is not. He's not involved in winning silverware. His job was recruitment. And whether you like it or not, Brighton probably are one of the best clubs at recruiting in the Premier League, if not the best, in terms of the gems that they find and then the profit that they sell them on for. So look, Brighton as well, budget compared to Chelsea is night and day. Often at these smaller clubs, which Brighton is compared to Chelsea, you're not going to be able to get every player that you go for. Whereas at Chelsea, there's a much bigger chance. And look at the good work that he's done on Brighton on a limited resources compared to what he would have at Chelsea. At a bigger club, there's scope to do even better work. Look, I think he's done very, very well. Didn't even know. I'd never heard of him either. Not that you would. Why would I know about Brighton's head of recruitment? But exactly, it doesn't matter if you've not heard of him. He's got a good resume. He's obviously, look, as those players that I listed off as some of the players that he's scouted for Brighton. That is exceptional. It really is. Look, I'll be honest. I don't know anything about him, as I said, but I've just kind of reeled off a list of players that he's scouted there. But he's being hired as a, some sort of multi-club model guy with a clear reporting line. So there's going to be a clear chain of command. He's going to be reporting to Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. He's not being given, like a broad strategic brief that he's got to build a title-winning team. And look, there's no issue for me with hiring specialists like that from Brighton, because those sort of people can exist and they can flourish at any level. That's the reality. You know, he was also wanted by Rangers as well. You know, that I don't think this is a bad appointment at all. Why is this such a big problem? I don't get it. Like if we'd not recruited from Brighton before, then would people be saying less about that? Like, guys, let me know in the chat if people that are annoyed about this, is it because we've gone back to Brighton again? Like if we hadn't recruited anyone from Brighton in the last 18 months, would you be okay with this? What is it? Is it the hire itself, or is it the fact that we're going back to Brighton again? Because for me, he's not responsible. As you said, like when you come in as a guy working within the multi-club model in a senior scouting role, which he's going to be in, that he's not responsible for trophies. That's not his remit. His remit is to recruit talent. Not annoyed one bit. I've only heard good things about him. Yeah, no, this is it. Like, I'll be honest. I'm not going to come in here and pretend that I know loads about this guy, because I don't. That is the reality. That's the reality of the situation. But I haven't done a bit of digging into him. Players that he's scouted, you know, he's clearly good at his job. The fact that Man United wanted him as well, he's clearly, you know, doing something right. You know, so I don't see an issue with this at all. I totally disagree that Caicedo's flopped. I think that's really unfair. Look, maybe he's not reached the level of performance that, you know, maybe many people expected of him, given the price tag. But I think since sort of Christmas time, I think he's been pretty good for Chelsea. I don't see how you can say that someone's been a flop when they've been here for 6 months. I think that's a bit disingenuous, a little bit. Obviously, people are entitled to their opinions, but I can't see how you can call someone a flop when they've been at the club for 6 months. That doesn't make sense to me. Would rather we just get an elite sport. Well, we could well get a sporting director in the summer. I don't know. I mean, look, we'll probably end up maybe with a director of. Look, I think it's clear we probably need a director of football. But at least now, right? I know we're not all the biggest fans of Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart, but at least there seems to be kind of a chain of command. You know, he's going to report into those guys. I know, obviously, you know, we're not massive fans of those two, but you know, he's expected to start in a global role across Chelsea's multi-club model. And he obviously had a hand in, as I said, Caicedo's initial move to Brighton and Alexis McAllister's arrival as well from Argentinos Juniors. So look, this guy has got a good track record. Chelsea are wanting to increasingly tap into that South American market. This guy knows a thing or two about the South American market. So for me, yeah, okay. Optically, it doesn't look great going to Brighton again. But forget where this guy's come from. Just look at his CV and look at his credentials and tell me that he's not a good fit for Chelsea. Tell me this is not a good hire, because I'm struggling to find any evidence to say that this is not a good hire other than, oh, he's from Brighton. Because if you look at the work that he's done, and you look at his CV, then it's someone that's very impressive for his age, and he looks like the sort of guy that we need to tick the box, that we're looking for. And look, we've won the race to do it. You know, we've won the race against United, and obviously, you know, he decided that he didn't want to stay at Brighton either. So yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it as a big deal. I really don't. But obviously, people are going to have their own thoughts on it. But I think it's good that we're looking to make these hires. I think the only thing that for me is, I don't say annoying, but maybe just a little bit irritating, is that we seemingly waited so long to make these hires. Why weren't these things in place beforehand? Look, I think, as I said, I think it's a really good hire. Now, I've mentioned the players he's been involved with. He's going to strengthen our position in South America, which, whether you agree or disagree, is a key market currently for this new ownership and the recruitment team. And it's another senior recruitment role that the club has now filled, which will help contribute to the multi-club model. And then we can continue to grow and develop that side of things as well. So I don't see it as a huge issue. I really don't. This is a role that needed to be filled. It's now been filled. What's the big deal? What's the big problem? I don't subscribe to the fact at all that, because you've hired someone from a lesser club, it means you're now a lesser team because you're hiring from a club that hasn't had the success of you in the past. When you look at Brighton, as I said earlier, Brighton are probably one of the best run football clubs in the Premier League, and their recruitment is probably one of, if not the best in the league in terms of the quality of players that they unearth for such a cheap price, and then the fact that they sell these players on for massive profit. He could indeed help Kendry Paez. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I really don't see what the problem is. Dan Ashworth came from Brighton as well. It doesn't mean they're bad. I know we've done a lot of business with Brighton and we've taken a lot from them in the last 18 months. But just because someone comes from Brighton or a seemingly lesser side doesn't mean they're bad at their job. It doesn't mean that they can't make the step up to the next level. Like, everyone starts somewhere. So why are people writing someone off because they've come from Brighton? And why does that suddenly mean that Chelsea have got a mid-table mentality because they've appointed someone from traditionally what was viewed as a mid-table club? It doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense for me at all. What else is going on here? Where else are we? Bro, I'll tell you what, Man United are absolutely not playing outstanding football. If you've watched them over they're grinding results out. The football's horror. It's awful. Their performances are dreadful. They've got some exciting players. Mainu, Garnacho, Højlund, of course. But why is that any different from us having exciting young players like Caicedo, Enzo, Malo Gusto? Why is that different? Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer? How is that? How is them having Maino, Garnacho, and Højlund building the future the right way, but we've got equally as talented or better youngsters than that, and we're not building the right way? I don't quite understand that. What else have we got going on here? I don't think he's trash, but there's obviously a lot of room for development. But to suggest that United are building in the right way and Chelsea aren't, I think is slightly missing the point in my opinion. But United absolutely aren't playing outstanding football. Yes, Ineos have come in, they mean business, they're making good recruitment, making good recruits off the pitch in terms of Dan Ashworth looking to sort out that sporting department, which is needed sorting out for quite a while. Look, obviously that's positive for them, but that in the immediate short term is not going to make too much difference to, what's currently going on at the club on the pitch this season. Maybe you'll start to see a difference made next season on that front. But look, I think it's exciting. He's not going to start until November. Jim Ratcliffe's not turned anything around in terms of the performances on the pitch. He hasn't done anything to change the performances on the pitch. But look, how are they having more success than we are? If success you mean they're higher in the table than us, fine. But we've got a chance to get a trophy this season, which is not looking likely for Man United. So I don't think so. Man United are doing well. They're getting good results, but their football's awful. Let's make no mistake about it. But let's move away from the Brighton thing. And actually, I just wanted to bring up, obviously just the sheer amount of staff that Chelsea have taken from Brighton over the last 18 months. This is quite staggering, really. We have paid Brighton over £225 million in the last year for 11 players and staff. So we've taken Sanchez, Cucurella, and Caicedo. Took obviously Graham Potter and then some of his staff: Ben Roberts, Billy Reid, Bruno Solter, Bjorn Hamburg, and then we took recruitment guy Carl McCauley. We also took Paul Winstanley, and then we obviously took Paul Winstanley's replacement, Sam Jewell, now as well. So when you look at it like that, in the last year, it seems mad, but I think a lot of those staff numbers are obviously inflated slightly because we took Potter and his coaching team. So that's kind of what happens when you take a manager and their coaching team. But look, there's no denying that we've hired a lot from Brighton. There's no denying that. There's no getting away from it as such. And look, I don't know, but look, how different is it? I mean, obviously, I know Liverpool didn't recruit staff from Southampton, but there was a period a few years back when Liverpool was signing so many players from Southampton. Without fail, each summer they were going back for at least one or two for about 3 summers on the spin, signing Southampton's best players. Look, it does occasionally happen. But look, it's obviously an extortionate amount of money. We've taken a lot of staff, and we're not really any better off right now than we were before we'd taken any of those current staff away. So yeah, it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one, but yeah, it's, when you sort of see it written down like that, it's sort of like you realise the magnitude of the money spent and the magnitude of just how many staff members we have actually taken from Brighton. But yeah, do you know what? It is what it is at the end of the day. Let's just hope that these hires pay off. And look, I don't think we're really going to know about this until a few years down the line to see whether our recruitment policy, our hires in the footballing positions have been a success or not. Because it's going to take a little bit of time for these guys to implement their work. Yes, big up, brother. The media are crying us a river because of a few Liverpool injuries. We know the score. We know the score. By the way, United want Macaulay as well. Yeah, Carl Macaulay, I don't know an awful lot about him, but he's clearly well thought of as well. No, he's gone to United anyway. So, but I don't know if I'd be paying £20 million for a sporting director. Remember, people were trolling. Yeah, exactly. I think we will we'll get a striker this summer. I don't know who it's going to be. Santiago Jimenez. Look, I like him at Feyenoord. He's a decent player, but I'll be brutally honest. I don't see us getting him. I think if it's not Victor Osimhen or Ivan Toney, I think the smart money, if you want to call it, I think we'll end up with Victor Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. That's kind of my feeling right now. That if we don't get Osimhen and we don't get Ivan Toney, then I think Gyökeres is going to be the guy. Højlund and Garnacho will end up like Trashford. Only good thing United have is Kobbie Mainoo. Yeah, Kobbie Mainoo is a baller. He's a top player. Massive fan of his. I hope so, mate. I hope so. But honestly, the answer to that is I don't know. That is the honest answer. Again, Sesko is another one. He's got 43 million pound release clause in his contract at RB Leipzig. Definitely a player that Chelsea have looked at and are interested in. But again, still relatively unproven at the top level. Evan Ferguson, you'd have to think is going to be on that list as well. Although this season he's not really playing that much. He's not playing an awful lot. I know De Zerbi seems to prefer João Pedro and Danny Welbeck to him. I'm not sure of that. I don't know if he will or not. We'll have to wait and see on that front. I've watched a lot of Gyökeres, Charlie. He's actually unreal, great all round. I've not watched loads of him. I know his numbers are decent for Sporting, but I think the big thing for me is that I'd want sort of a bigger body of work rather than just 6 months in the Portuguese league. I'm not discrediting him as a player. I'm just saying that anyone can put together a good 6 months or one good season. You sort of need to be able to back it up. I don't know if it would be too big a step for him too soon, but look, there's clearly talent there and there's ability there. So let's wait and see what happens. Why don't we start playing counter-attacking football? Look, we played well on the counter for sure against Man City. I think that's definitely another option that's potentially there. Guys, keep running the likes up. 78 in the building. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Make sure we hit 50 likes as quickly as possible. We're on 39. We need to be getting to 50 ASAP. Light work, guys. That should be done instantly within the next couple of minutes. There's definitely 10 of you in it that haven't smashed the like button. We also need a few more subscribers as well. 7,968 subscribers. Let's try and knock off another couple to get to 7,970. But we're about 30 subscribers away now from the big 8K, guys. So please keep subscribing if you haven't subscribed. And please run the likes up as well, guys. Yes, brother. Big up. As much as I like Thiago Silva, it's time for him to move on. Teams have found out Silva's style of play. Yeah, look, I think I would agree with that. Again, Openda's another very good striker. I like him. I don't see Chelsea going for him. But yeah, we have Jackson. What value does Sesko add? Again, I would agree to a degree. If we're going to go for someone, I'd much rather, I don't dislike Sesko, but you want someone a bit more proven if that's the road we're going down. What else have we got coming? There's loads of stuff coming in the chat. I'm not going to be able to read it all. If you want to guarantee your comment gets read out, then please do use the super chat function. Any donation is greatly appreciated by myself. Sesko's got superstar written all over him. Yeah, maybe he potentially does. I still think he needs a bit more time to develop. Yes, Brian, big up, big up. Evening, brother. I hope you're doing well. Can Chelsea win at Wembley on Sunday? I hope so, mate. I hope so. We can, but it's obviously going to depend on a lot of things going right for us, and that hasn't always. It's not always been the case, has it? Hasn't always been the case. But let's finally move away from this Brighton stuff. And obviously, Sam Jewell is on gardening leave. Won't be starting until November anyway, so I don't think we're really going to see a lot of his work. Really until not this summer, the following summer, I would imagine. I don't know for certain, but let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. I don't know for certain, guys, but let's see what happens on that front. But he will be starting his work at Chelsea in November. Obviously, he can't start in an official capacity, but I'm sure unofficially, he's going to be doing some sort of work. It doesn't stop him being on gardening leave. It doesn't stop you from taking phone calls and things like that. But let's move away from that and let's talk about the next story regarding Levi Colwill. Obviously, Ben Jacobs reporting an exclusive that let me just find it now. Not that one. That PSG appreciate Levi Colwill. Chelsea will automatically dismiss any offers, and Colwill has zero interest in leaving Stamford Bridge right now. It's not really news, that, to be honest, but let's have a look what this is saying. It's behind a paywall. But anyway, never mind about that. So yeah, Colwill potentially. I mean, look, we've had this so often with Levi Colwill. We had the whole debacle with Brighton, trying to get him on a permanent, having multiple bids rejected. We had that whole debacle with Liverpool potentially sniffing around him. When you've got top players, you're going to get top clubs sniffing around. But I think one thing is clear: Colwill come back to Chelsea last summer. Had a chat with Pochettino about was he going to get regular game time? Was he going to get opportunities? He signed a new 6-year deal with an option for a 7th. He's featured regularly this season, albeit at left back most of the time. Back in at centre-back last weekend against Man City, had an exceptional game. He's the future of Chelsea. Look, we're well stocked in central defence. He absolutely is the future. William Gallas, talking in an interview recently, saying that he believes that Levi Colwill can be the heir to Thiago Silva. Look, he's got all the tools to become a top player. He's doing really well at the moment. Had a brilliant game against Man City. Naturally, it's going to attract interest. I don't really get what the point of PSG expressing their interest, if that's what they've done, for Levi Colwill. It doesn't really make much sense, because they're not really going to get anywhere. Because one, all right, yeah, they could offer a load of money, but ultimately, I don't think Colwill actually wants to go anywhere. So for me, it's almost like it's a waste of time. That's the reality. Like, I don't know what their thought process is behind that. But yeah, I think this is just going to have to be something we're going to have to get used to with Levi Colwill whilst he's going to be at Chelsea for the next however many years. But yeah, this is it here. So PSG, like Liverpool, appreciate Levi Colwill. Chelsea will automatically dismiss any offers, as I've said. Colwill's got zero interest in leaving Stamford Bridge right now. But according to Ben Jacobs, the French giants are prepared to play the long game. Well, it's going to be a very long game. So if PSG are ready to strap in for the next sort of 5 or 6 years, then yeah, sure. But I don't think he's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Guys, we're still only on 43 likes. Come on, just keep smashing that like button. There's 77 in the building. Let's get this to 50 likes. That should be the absolute minimum. The absolute minimum. So yeah, I don't know what you lot are waiting for, guys. Run these likes up. Come on. There's definitely loads of you in it that haven't smashed the like button. It's free and it takes seconds. So, and it helps me out more than you can imagine. Obviously helps out with the algorithm and all that. I don't ask for any money from you lot. So yeah, people, please smash that like button and let's get these likes up. No excuses not to be on the minimum of 50 likes. What else have we got going on here? Pot just to shake off that Spurs gene on Sunday. Let's hope so. They know pure profit immediately turns on. Well, yeah. Look, this will be a big test, but I think ultimately, like the top players, they will. I don't see that happening. But you are right. You do never know. You do never know. I mean, I've not read into it, but I think it's just information that PSG do like Levi Colwill and they're prepared to play the long game. Yeah, there's a lot of things that a lot of us appreciate. Doesn't mean that there's really any chance of them happening, does it? But you know, let's wait and see on that front. 50 mil offer for Colwill with these owners. He's gone. No, I don't think so. What we're saying is don't hit the like button. Then yeah, guys, we need to be winning the Carabao Cup, and if we're going to win the Carabao Cup, then this video needs to be hitting as close to 100 likes as possible, guys. So you don't want us losing the Carabao Cup final to be on your conscience because you didn't take the simple decision to just smash that like button. But yeah, look, with Levi Colwill, it is what it is. He's having a really good season. We need to see more of him at centre back. But yeah, look, I think he's doing very, very well this season. I don't see any issues with him at Chelsea. Him at left centre back makes a massive difference. And look, obviously, it's going to be a big moment for him on Sunday. You know, come through the academy, first final at Chelsea, probably first final at Wembley for him. It's a big moment, and I just hope that he starts. It's the obvious choice for him to start alongside Axel Disasi. I think in the nicest way possible, it's probably going to be easier if Thiago Silva's not fit. I don't mean that in any way badly against Silva. It just saves us from having any sort of decision issues, any decisions in regard to team selection to make at the back. That for me is we don't want really to have that situation. Or do we pick Silva or do we not pick Silva? So yeah, it is going to be an interesting one. It really is. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure really, but he should be starting. He should be starting. Let me just quickly respond to this because it's mad on Twitter, isn't it? How people will just see a tweet and then not actually watch the video and then accuse you of having of not being genuine or whatever. Like the amount of because I literally yesterday when I put the Mudryk video out, everyone knows that I'm a massive Mudryk fan. I just posed the question: is time running out for him? People haven't even watched it, and then they're accusing me of all sorts on Twitter. So yeah, really, moral of the story on that one, guys, is if you're going to comment on something, at least watch the video first, and then have your comments afterwards. Don't comment without even watching it because it's so obvious. Because I know what I've said. And it's clear that, some people have just not watched the video and have come to their own conclusions, which is fine. Hopefully not. Yeah, agreed. As consistent as we possibly can. I don't think it makes any sense to put Silva back in for this game. But yeah, let's wait and see. Hopefully we don't get robbed with the VAR. Let's hope not. Yes, Wes, hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, they've got a few. No Alisson, no Diogo Jota, no Curtis Jones, no Trent, possibly no Darwin Nunez. So yeah, they've got a few missing as well. I mean, obviously we've got a few as well. So look, that levels it. That makes it a little bit more even. There's no point denying that. What else we got? I would not start Silva. I wouldn't start Silva either. I don't think we need a miracle, but we're going to have to play very well. And those players being out is obviously it is going to be a plus for us. It is going to make things maybe a little bit easier than if it was a proper full strength Liverpool. But Liverpool is still going to turn up with a very, very good team. I think it might be Wednesday, but they've got a game this week. I think it's when. Is it Europa this week? They've got a game this week. I don't know if it's Europa or what it is. I think maybe they're playing Luton in the Premier League. I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure they've got a game this week. I could be wrong on that front, but yeah, look, in regards to Levi Colwill, I don't see him. I don't see him going anywhere, guys. I really don't see him going anywhere because he's got that long-term contract security. He's playing regularly. He wants to be at the club. Until that changes, then any teams that are potentially looking at him are just wasting their time, like they are, with Conor Gallagher, like they are with many others. They are just wasting their time because these guys don't want to leave. They want to be at Chelsea, and yeah, that is the reality of the situation. No, I just think we need to go and play similarly to how we did at City. Make sure we're defensively solid. Having a pacier back line will obviously make a big difference. The fullbacks are going to be crucial, as is the midfield, and then we just need the forward line to be functioning like it did against Man City. And yeah, I think we've got half a chance. Yeah. No, a few people have, but yeah, you always get a few on Twitter that just will comment without even watching the video. So yeah, it is annoying. It is annoying, really. But yeah, it is what it is. Let people do what they want to do at the end of the day. I know what I've said. And if people want to have a problem with it, then that's fine. But yeah, anyway, no point wasting time with those people. Liverpool play tomorrow. Liverpool press high and we'll have to catch them on the break. Look, I think we can definitely catch them on the break. We just need to play our football and do our stuff. Yeah, I would agree. The game not being at Anfield, that absolutely makes a difference. There's no denying that. It 100% makes a difference. So yeah, look, in an even split at Wembley, we do have a good chance. I'm not going to naively sit here and say that, oh yeah, we're definitely going to win or we've got a better chance than them. I'd probably look at it as a 60-40 game or a 55-45 game in Liverpool's favour. But it's definitely going to be a lot closer than it was potentially looking. After we got hammered at Anfield and then after we lost at Wolves. These last three games that we've had have certainly given me, a lot more confidence heading into the game. I'm not saying we're suddenly favourites or anything like that, but it's definitely enabled me to feel more confident on that one. What else is going on in the chat? They'll be trying to catch us on the break, in my opinion. They're missing a lot of big names. They are, but they've still got decent, capable replacements coming in. So, yeah, I don't know. We are just going to have to wait and see what does happen on this front. If Chelsea score 1 or 2 goals in the second half in the final, better not start. No, he won't start 5 defenders. Just hope he doesn't do anything like switching to back five too early if we're doing well. I think it will be a redo of the first game of the season and end 1-1. Hopefully not. Mudryk not getting any chances. What do I think? I did a video on this yesterday. So when I've done, head over to that and check it out. But yeah, look, I think he will get opportunities again. I think maybe it's similar to the Madueke situation earlier in the season when he wasn't getting a bit of a look in. Maybe Poch is not happy with how Mudryk's working in training. There's obviously something going on. But yeah, I think he will get opportunities. So let's hope that does happen, because there's definitely a talented player there. But if you want like detailed thoughts, mate, there's a video on the channel that I uploaded yesterday. Yeah, keep running the likes. How many likes are we on now, people? Only 55. Guys, let's get this to 60 or 70 as quickly as possible. That should be light work for us. Should be light work. No reason why that should not be happening, guys. No reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. So yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. But yeah, guys, keep running the likes up. And we need one more subscriber, guys, to hit 7,970. So people, if one of you lovely guys can subscribe in here now, there's definitely at least one person who hasn't subscribed. We're on 7,969. There's 69 people tuning in. There must be one person who hasn't subscribed to the channel. So make sure you do subscribe. It will be greatly appreciated. With Colwill, the sassy centre-back as a duo, we don't have to defend deeper. No, exactly. There's pacier. We can push higher up. There's not as big a gap between the defence and the midfield. The midfield suddenly looks a lot more balanced. This is nothing against Thiago Silva. These are just basic facts. It's got nothing to do with his ability as a player. But at his age, we do have to play differently, and it doesn't really help us. At this point in time, it just doesn't, and that's the sad reality of the situation. We need to match Liverpool's intensity. Yep, the Sassy is impressive, and Gusto, absolutely agree. Endo and McAllister, they got Gravenberch as well. Harvey Elliott could maybe play in there. Sterling will play against Liverpool. I hope he doesn't. I'd much rather go with Nkunku. I think we should have Nkunku, Jackson and Palmer. But I wouldn't be surprised if Sterling did start, which is quite something, really. Yeah, I agree. I think Nkunku should play off the left, Jackson up front, Gallagher in the 10, and Cole Palmer on the right. That for me is what I would like to see. No, he won't do. He won't do. The stuff that Poch sold us the City game is BS. The subs were good subs. No, I didn't have a problem with the subs. I just think the timing of it was a bit too early to try and shut up shop. But yeah, it's just one of them. It's just one of those, unfortunately, for us. But no, I didn't think it was. I don't think it was terrible or anything like that. I just slightly questioned it. That was all. I just slightly questioned it. But yeah, ultimately, we played very well. We got away. We got out of there with a point. We should have really won that game, if we're being perfectly honest. Yeah, I do think he's good. He's got a lot of room to develop. What is he, 20 years old? A lot more room to develop. But yeah, I think he's a top player, top prospect, got all the credentials to go on and be a brilliant player. So yeah, I do think he's good, and I absolutely believe in him and his ability. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, no one turned up against Liverpool last time. I think that's fair to say. No, it wasn't just him. No one turned up. Nkunku doesn't suit the lone striker. No, he doesn't, which is why I play him off the left. Jackson, for me, I'm a big fan of Nicholas Jackson. I really am. I think obviously he's rough around the edges and his finishing absolutely needs improvement, but the other aspects of his game are very good. They are very good. I think he's a top player. I do think he's a top player. I think it's clear what he offers. Obviously he's provided 9 goals and 3 assists across 27 appearances in all competitions. Would be a bit higher, but he obviously missed a month with AFCON. Look, Jackson's still very rough around the edges, as I said, particularly when it comes to his finishing. But there's other aspects of his game that are brilliant. His link up and hold up play, his movement, the fact that he provides a target when we play out. And look, when Jackson left for the AFCON, you could absolutely see what he brings to this Chelsea attack and what we were missing when he wasn't there. He absolutely, for me, had his best game in the Chelsea shirt against Man City. He played that lone centre-forward role exceptionally well. Very difficult to do at the Etihad. He was constantly causing problems by drifting into wide areas. And then on several occasions, his link-up player is outstanding. None more so than for Sterling's goal, where that initial flick and the 1-2 with Palmer and a brilliant pass set up, the huge opener. And look, despite missing a big opportunity, it's clear for me that he brings so much to this team with his all-round play. And look, and Sunday represents a huge opportunity for him to help us win a first domestic cup since 2018. And I'll be honest, if we're going to have any chance of beating Liverpool, we're going to need Nicholas Jackson in the starting lineup. And look, his finishing's not the best, I know that, but everything else that he brings to the team, he's just a really good footballer. In my opinion, do I think he's a centre forward? No, not particularly. Can he grow into a centre forward and develop into one? Yeah, potentially he can. But I think he's a good player. I think he's a really good player. There's a lot to like about Nicholas Jackson. There really is. There really is a lot to like. I'm a huge fan of his. I really am. I think he's a lot better than what people give him credit for. I really do. I really do. I think Carabao Cup's going to be on Sky, I'd imagine. It'll be on Sky Sports. I don't know if you're UK based or not. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Jackson is confusing. Yeah, look, obviously there's going to be... Look, finishing needs work. Of course it does. But, he's still rough around the edges. This is just his third season in senior football. I think he's a good player. There's a lot to like about him, and he was very, very good against Man City. I think it's on Sky Sports. It's better on the wing, played there at Villarreal. Yeah, he did. I think he was signed as a... He was signed as a centre forward for us, but whether he's going to be used there or not, I don't really know. I think long term he probably will be used there, but ultimately, I don't really know the answer to that. I don't really know the answer, but yeah, I'm a big fan of his. There's a lot to like about Nicholas Jackson. A lot to like. And as I said, if he's in the starting lineup, that's our chances of winning are going to be better. Because I remember people saying they were happy he was going to the AFCON. I couldn't believe it. Be careful what you wish for. And we saw exactly what we were missing when he wasn't there. When he wasn't there in the team. He didn't have that. We didn't have the work rate. We didn't have the link-up play or the hold-up play that he brings. He is really, really important to this Chelsea side. And he, for me, is a shoo-in to start. He must absolutely start this game on Sunday. I think he's a shoo-in to start, to be honest. But yeah, for those reasons, he must start. In my opinion, I think so. It'll be interesting to see kind of how he's used when we do bring another forward in the summer. I don't know who that forward's going to be, but that'll be interesting. Whether he plays off that striker, whether he is a rotation option, whether he plays off the left. But these are all things that are gonna help. All things that are going to help him develop his game. And that can only be a good thing. When was the last time Chelsea beat Liverpool and Man City? Last time we beat Man City was Porto. And the last time we beat Liverpool, yeah, that's going to be quite a while as well. Jackson might well have stayed here, given he didn't even start. He doesn't start for Senegal. The reason why Poch played Cole at left back was Jewell got injured and Cucurella lacks the height. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I certainly think, I'm not saying we would have won that game at Liverpool, but I think having someone up there like a Nicholas Jackson would have helped us for sure. We don't need an Osimhen or any starting striker this summer, and Kunku is not. I disagree with that. And Kunku is not a centre forward. Nkunku's not a centre forward. That's not his best position, guys. I'm not really sure why people think Nkunku's best position is a centre forward. It's not. It absolutely isn't. But yeah, look, he can play off the left. He can play there in an emergency. His best position is as a number 10. Porto, the last time we beat Liverpool was back in 2021 at Anfield when Mount scored the goal. Yeah, that would have been it. Mudryk fan, big time. The guy, There's a lot for Mykhailo Mudryk to learn in his game. Absolutely, there's no denying that at all. Guys, 71 likes. Let's try and get this to 80 likes, people. 80 likes. We are going to get this as close to 100 likes as possible. And we're still, we're now less than 30 subscribers, guys, from 8K, less than 30. Keep subscribing if you're new around here. And as always, please keep smashing that subscribe button as well, guys. It is free and it really helps me out. And let's run these likes up as well. Let's do it. We need Jackson on the break as he does well holding the ball. Yeah, no, he does. He does. A prime example of what Nicholas Jackson gives you was that Man City game. I don't think anyone else we had would have done that. Mudryk and Madueke have got different skill sets, but they wouldn't have been able to put in a performance like Nicholas Jackson did. Bro, Jackson, I'm a massive fan of Jackson. Massive fan. Mudryk will come good. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's really hard to read the situation. It's hard to read the situation. I don't really know what his thought process is with Mudryk right now. But yeah, it is what it is. Petrovic, Chilwell, Cole, Disasi, Gusto, Enzo, Caicedo, and Nkunku, Gallagher, Palmer, Jackson. That is exactly the team. That's the team that I'd go with. But yeah, I think there'll maybe be a couple of there'll be a few decisions that Pochettino does need to make. But yeah, anyway, let's move away from this Levi Colwill stuff. And let's talk about Chelsea's forgotten man. Actually, before we talk about Chelsea's forgotten man, let's quickly talk about the bonuses on offer for Chelsea if they win the Carabao Cup. So Chelsea's players will share a modest bonus pot of just $500,000 if they win the first trophy of the Todd Boehly Clear Lake Capital era in the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. The new owners have kept a tight rein on the bonuses on offer. Let me just dive into the article and see what it's saying. But yeah, I know it's not the biggest of trophies, the Carabao Cup, but yeah, only 500k between the squad. Doesn't seem like an awful lot to go round. Man United players picked up around 65 grand each for winning the trophy last year. Fair enough. The club's new owners have succeeded in trimming the wage bill despite being lavish spending in the transfer market since buying the club 2 years ago, and they've kept a tight rein on the bonuses on offer. Chelsea's potential 500 grand bonus is significantly less than the 1.6 mil shared by Man United's players after they won the cup last season. The Chelsea bonus scheme entitles every player who's played in this season's competition a percentage of the pot depending on the number of minutes they've played. If divided equally, Mauricio Pochettino's 25-man squad, the payout would be around 20 grand each, which is less than a day's wages in most cases. Chelsea's FA Cup winning bonus is more generous at 1 million, which reflects the greater prize money on offer in that competition. The FA have increased prize money significantly in recent years, and the winners of this season's competition will receive 4 million, whereas the Carabao Cup winners get just 100 grand from the EFL. Now, allow this, man. The EFL doing us dirty out here. The EFL, you get 100 grand for winning the Carabao Cup. Is that it? Prize money, 100 grand. Surely we can do better than that. Surely. 100 grand prize money for the Carabao Cup. That must be a mistake. Surely that's meant to be 1 million. Have I read that wrong? That must be meant to be 1 million. 100,000, that is. No, it's no mistake. Maybe unless they made a typo, but surely it's not 100 grand. It must be 1 million. In common with most other Premier League clubs, Chelsea will offer far bigger bonuses tied to performances in the Champions League, both in terms of winning it and qualifying for the competition. Well, we can forget about either of those things for at least one season minimum. But yeah, interesting. There's not very much money in the Carabao Cup. It seems not much money in the cup at all. Ultimately, I don't think the bonus scheme really matters. Really matters that much. Winning the trophy is far more important. But yeah, look, it is what it is. We know we're trimming the wage bill. We know we're a bit more tighter on finances and things like that. Despite the spending, I think we did need to get the wage bill under control, and it's good that it's been trimmed, and it's good that they're looking at ways of where the club can save money and operate, better financially. I don't view that as a bad thing in any way. But yeah, look, ultimately, forget the bonuses. What we want is a Chelsea win. We want a Chelsea win on Sunday. If we turn up on Sunday, we win. I hope so. Mudryk needs to go on loan to fulfill his potential. No game time is killing him. Yeah, potentially, I'd agree with that. If we win Sunday, please, fans, don't be like United fans last year. Yeah. Well, to be fair, we win on Sunday. I can't promise that I might not say some things that I may look back on in the morning and think, yeah, that was a bit premature when in the moment. But yeah, no, I won't be saying, we're suddenly back, because we know that's not the case. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. West Ham are strange at the moment. They're still above us. Yeah, but, we'll overtake them. Winners 100k, runners up 50k, semi-final list 25k. That's mad, isn't it? The EFL obviously not prepared to pay out. Not prepared to pay out an awful lot, are they? Not massively, because I didn't think he was good enough for Chelsea. I think it was the right decision for him to move on. But yeah, no, not too fast. But yeah, obviously that's just a brief on the bonuses. I didn't realise just how little money there was in winning the Carabao Cup. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I wasn't aware that there was so little money in it. But let's move away from that. I wanted to talk about the curious case of Malang Sarr and what's going on there. There was an article dropped in The Athletic this morning, just kind of summing up his situation. I think a lot of people have kind of forgotten that he'd been here. His last game for Chelsea was March the 12th last year, and he was on the brink of joining Le Havre. But apparently, Malang Sarr asked for his last 18 months of his contract to be paid in full to leave. However, a compromise was reached at 50%. Chelsea then changed their minds and lowered the percentage. Sarr agreed. The player then travelled to France and got a call from Chelsea minutes before the deadline saying the move was off. This matched Le Havre's account. Chelsea disagreed with this version of events, but made it clear that if they got no fee for Sarr, no compensation would be paid to him. He's also training with the under 20. I think he's training with the 21s. He's not played any games for the 21s. He hasn't got a locker in the first team building anymore. Yeah, it's a bit. Look, I think it's another example of Chelsea not really treating a player very well. Obviously they brought Malang Sarr in as an opportunity. I think they brought him in on a 5-year contract under Frank Lampard, on a free, an opportunity to sell him for a profit. And it now looks like we probably we're not going to get a profit for him. But yeah, look, it's a shame that he's come to that and he's getting treated kind of the way that he is. I don't necessarily agree with that. But yeah, I just think Chelsea have got a thing where they don't seem to treat players very well. I don't know what the falling out has been. I don't know how the conversations went. But yeah, it's clear that, Chelsea they've not treated him very well. You can't just suddenly go back on what you've said. You just can't do that. You just cannot go. You can't just suddenly go back on your word. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. But obviously the club feel that they were within their rights to do so. But yeah, that is what's happening with Malang Sarr. He was going to join Le Havre. He didn't. It fell through for those reasons. And yeah, I can imagine he's probably feeling quite low. Probably feeling pretty low about things. He's going to training. He's training on his own, or he's training with the 21s. He's not part of the first team. He's not in the first team building or anything like that. Hasn't got a locker in there anymore. And yeah, look, the end of the season can't come quick enough for him. he's pretty much wasted a year of his career by not playing and being in the situation that he's in. I just hope come the summer and the end of the season that he can get a move to wherever he wants to go, and he just starts playing regular football and gets his career back on track. So you don't like to see any players going through a situation like this. And at the end of the day, players are humans just like us, and they do have feelings and emotions and that. And yeah, I can't imagine that's a great situation to be in whatsoever. It absolutely isn't. Guys, 79 people in the building. Big up to everyone that's in here. 76 likes. Come on, let's get this to 80 likes as quickly as possible. I still think the 100 likes is possible. Still possible, guys. So yeah, we need 25 more. Keep smashing the likes and keep subscribing if you're new around here as well. It's greatly appreciated. Carabao Cup has less media rights in India. It's gone from TV channels to sports mobile apps. Fair enough. Yeah, look, obviously it's available in the UK, but yeah, obviously the rights aren't as big. Naturally, it's not as big a competition. And yeah, Malang Sarr is living proof of why we need a Brighton type scouting department. You're not really sure what the sort of the thought process behind signing Sarr was. We'll never forget Malang Sarr's run of game as left back when Jewell got the injury. Yeah, no, he had a few good games for us. He did have a few good games for us. One of the greats, along with Piazon, Bakayoko, Kennedy, and Aranyak. Hakim Ziyech and Lukaku and Chalobah and Breyer will leave in the summer. Yep, they will. Michael Hector and Danny Drinkwater. Yeah, those man as well. Yeah, it's kind of it's a mad one, isn't it? It is a mad one. It is an absolute mad one on that front, people, on that front. What else have we got going on? Yeah, Malang Sarr is still a Chelsea player. I think he's still got a couple years. He must still have a couple years left on his contract. He has to. He has to still have a couple years left on his contract. So let's wait and see what happens with that. But look, obviously, let's just get this sorted as quickly as possible. Let's get it sorted as quickly as possible. And yeah, we can just move on from that chapter. I know everyone's kind of forgotten about him. Maybe the new Phil Jones, potentially. But look, I think there's still a half-decent player in there, whether he goes and plays in Belgium, Turkey, France, whatever he decides to do. Yeah, no, of course it is. Yeah. The money is minimal that's on offer. The money is minimal that's on offer. There really isn't. There's next to nothing on offer for the Carabao Cup. But yeah, look, it's a trophy at the end of the day, and it'll be massive for us. It'll be really important for this group of players. And hopefully it could well be a stepping stone, 100%. Abraham had one good season with us. Yeah, I think he scored 15 goals in that season. And I don't think any Chelsea players actually scored that many in the Premier League since, although Cole Palmer, I think on 10 in the Premier League right now, has got a good chance of overtaking that. I don't want another penalty shootout on Sunday. No, absolutely not. I don't think any of us want another penalty shootout. Although in the penalty shootout against Newcastle in the quarterfinal, you know, we actually did pretty well. We did pretty well. There's no denying that. We did pretty well there. We scored all our penalties, and they were all exceptional. They were all exceptional pens. So yeah, I don't see that. I don't really see that as a major issue. I really don't. But yeah, that's the latest on Malang Sarr. He's still knocking about at Cobham, but yeah, it's obviously a bit of a sad situation. Really, in regards to him. But yeah, obviously hope he's doing all right. Wish him all the best. And yeah, hopefully that can all get sorted at some point. But it just seems to me like it's another case of Chelsea not particularly treating a player very well. And that's not a great look, in my opinion. Would you start in Kunku? Yes, I would. Won't be surprised if ref makes some of those decisions, given the whole media and FA plan to pay tribute to that. Yeah. No, probably. You can't rule it out. I wouldn't be surprised. You're absolutely right. But all we can do is turn up and play our best. That's all we can control. We can't control a ref or whatever. So we just got to go there, keep our heads, put in a really good performance, and then hope that that's enough. that is the reality of the situation right now. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is on that front. What else is being said here? No, I don't think he plays a number 9. I'd play him off the left, and I'd have Jackson as a 9, and the two of them can kind of rotate with each other. Yeah, and Kunku's definitely not a lone striker. Absolutely not. Maybe if you played a 3-5-2 or a 4-4-2, for example, in maybe a partnership, maybe having someone alongside him, then yeah, sure, that might work better. But in terms of playing a lone number 9, yeah, that's not really going to suit him very well, in my opinion. It's really not. Guys, 2 more likes to 80. Come on, people. Keep smashing the like button. Let's get this to 80 likes minimum. There's definitely 2 of you lovely 73 in here that haven't smashed the like button. So, yeah, please do that, guys. It's free, and it really, really, really helps me out more than you could imagine. Boost the content in the algorithm. If YouTube sees that content's getting more likes, then it will push it more and get more eyes on the channel. So, yeah, if you could keep smashing the like button, it would be greatly appreciated. Not a big fan of Palm. No, agreed. Jackson needs to be down the middle. Stick to Jackson as 9. Yeah. Let's give him more freedom. If Nicholas Jackson is that good, he would surely start for Senegal. I don't know what forwards they've got for Senegal. I don't know if it was going for more experience or what it was. Jackson's a good player, and he will start plenty of games for Senegal. That much is absolutely clear. Look, half the team, no. But obviously Alisson's out, Trent's out, Jota's out. Who else is missing? Trent, Alisson, Jota, Curtis Jones, possibly Darwin Núñez, and maybe a few others. I don't know. I didn't really watch any of him in the AFCON, so I'm not really in a position to comment on his performances there. I know he didn't start an awful lot of games. Yeah, absolutely goes without saying. He'll be one of the first names on the team sheet. That much is abundantly obvious. But yeah, it's a big day all round on Sunday. A big day all round. But yeah, what else have we got going on here? What else have we got going on? Yeah, obviously we got Man City versus Brentford tonight. Maybe maybe Ivan Toney can bang a few goals in there, but obviously he probably wants City to win just because they don't want Liverpool or Arsenal winning the league. So we need City to get back to winning ways. Because the manager prefers experience and attack. Yeah, maybe. Jackson will come good. We just trust needed. Though I won't miss Gallagher. Don't mind him staying as well. Agreed. Who do you think will win the league this season? I still think Man City. I still think they're the team to beat. But they absolutely do need to, get back to winning ways. Yeah, I still think they're the team to beat. Yeah, finishing just needs to improve. I think there's a lot to like about other aspects of his game, but yeah, the finishing 100% needs to improve. Santos made his debut for Strasbourg at the weekend. Thoughts on Diego getting a look in with the first team? Moreira's not going to get a look in with the first team at all. Yep, good to see Santos. I think he only played about 10 minutes, but good to see him, getting some football. And I think Strasbourg under Patrick Vieira will be a good place for him to get some minutes under his belt. I think the French league will suit him. And hopefully, yeah, he can kick on and have a good loan spell there. I think, to be honest, given the fact that he wasted half a season at Forest where he didn't play at all, I think he needs to go on loan again next season as well. Whether that's a Premier League team or whatever it might be, but I think he will need to go on loan again next season. That's just my gut thoughts on that. I don't think he's going to be ready after less than half a season at Strasbourg to suddenly come back to Chelsea and be ready to feature. I just don't see that as a realistic situation. I just don't. I just really don't. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But look, if we get the Nkunku balloon celebration at Wembley, maybe that's what he's been saving it for. That would be quite something. I mean, it would be absolutely phenomenal if that were to happen. I would be absolutely loving it. But whoever scores on Sunday for us, in Lisbon final, that Man City team was a better team. Can't remember any negative subs from Tuchel. Sorry. Look, I think for me, it was clear that the tide of the game was changing slightly with Bernardo Silva. A lot of the starters were pretty knackered or looking knackered. I just feel that maybe we just reverted to sort of too defensive, just a little bit too soon. That was my only criticism. We'll beat Liverpool, I'm sure of it. I hope so. What do you make of Arsenal smashing up the competition currently? I wouldn't say Havertz was tearing it up, but I mean, 6-0 against a horrendous West Ham side and 5 against a shit Burnley. I mean, look, they're scoring a lot of goals. They're playing well, but ultimately, I don't think they're going to win the league, and they're not going to win the Champions League. So, and they're out both cups. So, yeah, Jackson should have finished first time against Man City. Yeah, easier to say now, but yeah, I think it probably would have been a better decision to go with. I think we should consider Palmer as the false nine and Nkunku behind. I just don't think. I think Palmer gets wasted as the false nine. I just don't think that's the right way to go. Liverpool clear favourites, but it's a one-off game. And to be fair, Chelsea are playing well. I would agree on that as well. I'd say Liverpool are definitely the favourites, but it's a one-off game. It's at Wembley. It's a final. The injuries to some of Liverpool's key players somewhat, makes it a little bit closer. They're still going to be favourites regardless, but yeah, I think there's an opportunity for a really good game on Sunday. I think, as always, you just want to turn up and compete and make it competitive. That's the biggest thing. That is the biggest thing for me. That's what needs to happen. We just got to turn up and compete and be competitive. If we can do that, then I think we're going to be set for a decent day at Wembley. And give a good account of ourselves. That's all we can do at the end of the day. Chelsea are playing well, but hopefully Poch doesn't make mistakes with subs. Let's hope so. If we don't beat Liverpool, we don't beat Liverpool. Obviously, it depends how we lose, of course. But if we compete, we give a good account of ourselves, and we were unlucky or whatever, then that's easier to take than if we turn up and we get turned over like 3 or 4-0 or whatever. So yeah, look, I don't think it's curtains. Obviously, means we still have another opportunity in the FA Cup if we were to lose. And yeah, we can still qualify for Europe. When City was favourite for Champions League in 2021, Chelsea played good. We did. Top 3 targets for the summer. For me, it would be Ivan Toney. And then a centre-back, maybe someone like Diamonde. And then a left-back. I haven't really got any names for you at left-back, but I think a left-back will probably be needed as well. I'm not. I don't know why Chelsea fans still mention Kai Havertz. He doesn't play for us anymore. So yeah, it is what it is. I still say Man City are the favourites of the league and Champions League. I don't know if they'll go for a double treble. I think that's virtually impossible. But yeah, they'll be there or thereabouts in multiple competitions. No, I do rate him, but I just don't think he's as good as a lot of people make him out to be. I think Ivan Toney would be much better suited to Chelsea than Victor Osimhen would. Obviously, if Osimhen does arrive, of course I'll support him and all that, and I'll be happy, of course. But if it was down to me, I think Ivan Toney personally is a better fit for Chelsea. That's my view. I just think he's more suited to how we play. And that for me is the reality of the situation. Guys, we're 12 likes away from 100. 12 likes away. And there's 90 in the building. There's definitely a few of you. There's definitely 12 of you that haven't smashed the like button. So guys, please do that. Let's run this up to 100 likes, people, as quickly as possible. as quickly as possible. Let's get it done. Come on, guys. Let's do it. 88 likes, 90 in the building. There's surely 12 of you that haven't smashed the like button. He's a risk, but still a good player. No, I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I think Tony's ready-made for the Premier League. I think he'd be perfect for us, Ivan Toney. I just hope the occasion doesn't get to Poch. No, I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Even though Højlund scored 2 against Luton, I still think Jackson is a better. I don't know. I think they're different players. Højlund's more of an out-and-out forward, whereas Jackson, I think, is a bit more versatile. Højlund's got a lot of ability and is clearly a good player. I think, yeah, I said earlier in the stream, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea didn't get either. I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea did end up with Gyökeres in the summer. I really wouldn't. But yeah, look, I still hope we get one of Osimhen or Toney. It would be Toney for me, but for me, I think the smart bet would potentially be on Chelsea ending up with Victor Gyökeres, for sure. No, not really. Look, maybe that plays a little part in it because all the things that Osimhen is doing are the same things that we were bigging up Lukaku for doing. I just don't think he's quite as good as people say. But that's all. I think there's ability there. You know, there's still a lot of room to develop. He's really only had one good season in his career. Like, I know he scored goals in Lille, but in Napoli, he's only had one good season, and that was last season when obviously they won the Scudetto for the first time since Diego Maradona was there. But yeah, I'm just a little bit unsure on him. I just don't think he's as good as a lot of people make him out to be. That for me is the reality. Probably 2025, 2026. I think next season we will qualify for the Champions League. But yeah, 2025, 2026, I think for me is when we'll get ourselves back into the Champions League. So I think, yeah, we're going to have to wait another season. We're definitely going to have to wait another season for sure. But as long as we get some form of European competition next season, I think that for me is the most important thing. Absolutely the most important thing. Let's have a look if there's any news that has come through in regards to anything Chelsea related at this point in time. Maybe there isn't. But yeah, look, have we ever reached 100 likes yet? We must have done nearly. 93. Guys, 7 more likes. Come on, people. Let's get these likes to 100. 7 more required. Keep smashing that like button. But yeah, people, I think I'm going to round this one out here. Unless anyone else has got any questions in the chat. Been a good show tonight, guys. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in as we continue to build up towards the Carabao Cup final on Sunday, the first domestic silverware of the season up for grabs. So big up to everyone that's tuned in. Please, if you haven't smashed the like button, smash the like button on the way out. We're 7 likes away from 100. Let's get that on the way out, guys. Please subscribe if you're new around here as well. Less than 30 subscribers away from 8K now. So every new subscriber really helps. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. I will be back on most likely Thursday night. Possibly tomorrow if there's any major news, but definitely Thursday. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good day tomorrow if I don't catch up with you then. And I'll catch up with you guys definitely on Thursday. So, yeah, up the Chelsea. Peace out and love for the support, people.